Draconic Stones, how to upgrade them, how to dismantle them, how to reset them. There's so many things you can do with them. This video will tell you the answer to all those questions. Don't forget about Amazon App Store or Amazon Coins. You can get 20% off on your spending on King of Avalon if you're in one of their selected regions. Let's check out the video now. So, Draconics. If you go into the stronghold here, you'll find in the dragon layer to the top right of that is the dragon section. So if we open up the dragon section, you'll see at the bottom there's loads of things you can do with the dragon. I've actually done a video here which takes you through nurturing, skills and emblems. Today we're going to be covering Draconic, so that's the one at the bottom here. And just for future reference, Dragon Shadow, this is where you can pay real money to get a second, third, fourth, fifth dragon to go out with each of your marches. Super powerful, very expensive. So checking out Draconic now. Draconic is the 6 stones that you have in this altar here. Now you need to raise your dragon level enough to be able to activate these Draconic skills. But once you've got that level high enough, you'll then be able to open up one of 3 different sets of stones. Now, you won't be able to get all 3 immediately, so keep leveling up your dragon. If you click on the one that you can't open, it should tell you why you can't open it, and keep doing whatever changes are required, and you can have up to 3 sets. Why would you need 3 sets? The good answer to that is elementals. Elementals activate Draconic skills. Now these Draconic skills, there are a lot of them, and for the lower and mid spenders you're unlikely to be able to unlock every single one of these dragon skills. What you have to do instead is have one set for focusing on different types of skills, and then you can have one set, for example, for fighting, one set to improve your economy skills, one set to improve your development skills. So you can see the different colours, red, green and blue. There's your clue. How do these work? It's all about elemental power. So let's unequip a couple of these red stones. So I've now unequipped them, and you can quickly see that those Draconic skills here, they've dropped. I've lost 1 level of my Breath of Fire, and I've also lost 1 level of my Scaled Sanctuary. How do elementals work? So if let's take off some more stones. So I'm going to reset my sets here, and so now I've removed a whole bunch of stones, and you can see almost all of these skills have disappeared. To activate these skills, if you click on the skill you're interested in, and then if you look at the bottom here, you've got the requirements section. This tells you how many elemental points you need to activate this skill. So in this case, if I wanted the level 1 Scaled Sanctuary, I'd need 15 red elemental points, 5 blue and 0 green. Now the obvious answer to which ones are which, the red stones will have a red elemental score, the green a green, and the blue blue. The level of that score, that depends on the level of the stone. You can see this is a level 4, and then we've got level 5, it goes all the way down. I don't have any level 1s left yet now. But level 2 red, for example, will give you 10 elemental points in red. The level 4 will give you 20 elemental points. So the higher the level, the more elemental points you can get. Enhancing these stones will not make any difference to the elemental level, so it is about those colours. The only exception here is the yellow stones, the Omni stones. They can have all 3 types of these elemental scores, so you can have red, blue and green on the same stone. So to activate these skills, you need to put enough stones to hit those requirements. So let's add another stone now. Let's add a blue stone. And you see the red dot that appeared there, that means I've activated some more skills. That's activated this combat skill. It's also opened up a bunch of these development skills. In fact, it's opened up all of them except the higher level Draconic chest drops, the Dragon's Favour. Now this one, it is activated by going to your skills at the bottom right, so click on that book. And then you have the Draconic skills here. This is one of those active skills, and this is the Draconic chests here. So you can see to activate this skill, you just click use. But what's really interesting is the level that I'm getting. This is for level chest 2. And if I add some more blue stones, I can add another 20 points to my elemental score there. And you can see that that is now activated the level 3 chests. So out of interest, you only need to activate these extra blue stones for the Dragon's Favour once a day. For that, once every 24 hours you can open that, get one of those dragon chest drops. So you don't need that permanently on. You can switch your stones to that version, get the chest, and then switch back to whatever you were using before. So you can see how you can turn them on, turn them off, get exactly what you need when you need it. So you got your 3 sets. I say I would have one for fighting, and for right fighting I would generally recommend that you need to really focus on the Breath of Fire. It only lasts for 30 minutes, but when it's functional, especially when you've got a lot of troops and you're taking on more powerful players, that Breath of Fire is the best way that you can hurt other bigger players. Okay, so now I've activated all my red stones, and you can see I've maxed out the Scaled Sanctuary, and I also maxed out the Draconic Ore, and I've now got up to level 4 of my Breath of Fire. The higher the better. You can see that damage stat just keeps going up and up the more you can activate. So for me, check out these. You can see now I've got them all maxed out, so actually I can start taking out some of these other stones that aren't going to benefit, aren't required for these ones, and have a play. Just find out how many skills you can open up. You can switch your stones out and find out, actually I can keep all of those other resource ones all the time, but also have a higher fighting stat all the time as well. So you can do a lot to play with those figures and unlock those skills that you need. So basic position, the grey stones, you might need them at the beginning, but the minute that you can stop using the grey ones, they don't have any elemental benefits, and they are also much lower stats. So you can see here 10.3, 9.4, so if I compare that to a green one, we're talking 16.2, 18.9. The general stats much better. So grey ones weak, coloured ones better, higher numbers are better, but then there are tiers. Now this is where it gets really confusing. Now, is a level 2 green in the Exquisite Dragonstone better or worse than a intact Dragonstone level 3? You can see the intact one, it spreads the stats out over all of the different 9 types. The level 3 stone, it's only across 6 types, so you can cherry pick here. Now if you've got exactly the stats that you want, so the most important ones, infantry health, infantry defense, bowman attack, cavalry attack. Now if you've got a stone that can do all of those, then actually those benefits can outweigh having a spread version. I'd say on average I go for the intact lower level stone until I can really start to, until I can unlock the higher tier coloured stone. So you can see I'm using tier 3 stones here instead of the tier 4 stone here. Tier 3 you can see has 20 elemental red, and this one also has 20 elemental red, so neither one is going to change your elemental score. So you can actually go through these numbers and choose which one is going to make the most difference. You might say, oh actually I've already upgraded my lower level stone, I don't want to lose the upgrades and the stats are going to be better. Not a problem. If you've got these stones set up and you don't want to keep the +1 from the lower level, you want to put those same stones into the other higher level stone, there is this option here. You can reset it. So you do need to unlock it first, and then you can reset that stone. It'll give you back the materials. You can then put them into a different stone. So absolutely fine. Now the other point about locking, this is really helpful. The ability to lock, and then you can do a mass dismantling to get rid of those older stones you don't want. Now when you try and dismantle, it won't dismantle ones you've already got in one of your setups. So if you've got 3 different setups and you haven't checked 1 or 2 of them for a while, you might have some stones here which actually you need to change out anyway, so it's good practice to change them out. But if you're not 100% certain which ones will stay and which ones will go, make sure you click the padlock on all of those of your best stones. Just feel safe when you do dismantle. For me, I would make sure that just in case you need a whole set of blues or a whole set of greens, a whole set of reds, I'd make sure I've got my best 6 reds locked, my best 6 blues locked, my best 6 greens locked. Everything else I will unlock it, and then you can dismantle it knowing that you've got your best already. So in this case I've got a level 4 green here, a level 4 green here, then a bunch of level 3s, and then we're down to the level 2s. But again, check per colour, just make sure that you've got all that you need. Now if you've got the gold ones, they are great. They've got really sort of shared stats across the whole bunch, so they'll probably form most of your sets will have a gold one if you've got one. However, keep in mind that once you get those higher levels, it's about checking those stats and those elementals. The golds may have 20, 20 and 20, but if your new level has 60 red instead of 20 of each, again, check out your Draconic skills, work out what are you targeting. This is personal to you. There's no right, that's the number of stones that you need to open. What are you chasing? If you're fighting, you definitely want to try and get as much red as you can, but there are minimum other requirements for a lot of these, so play around with it. This is one where I think you really need to sit down, try out lots of different combinations, see how many of those skills you can unlock, and then check your stats, see which of these stats you like the look of, and just switch them about until you can get the best one. And remember, you can reset these stones and start again and get rid of these lower ones. If you've got plus stats on these lower stones, then you can reset those, start checking on the materials up higher. Upgrades like this, switching out your stones, if you have the shop event in your kingdom, I would wait until that day before switching out your stones. If you raise your Draconic score, you won't get those points in the shop event and you won't get those prizes. So Draconics, you really want to play with these. If you're going to make lots of improvements, do it during the shop event if you've had it before. If you've not had it before, it's up to you if you want to wait for it to come. It could be a long time. It's over a year since I started in solo before I got my first shop event, so we shall see if they bring it in general. Remember, check all your different sets, make sure you've gone through them all and done all your own upgrades, get your best ones during that shop event or any Draconic upgrade day where you're going to get points for doing these upgrades. Make sure you've got your best sets in place. And as I say, remember you can dismantle those stones, so lock all the ones that you want to keep and dismantle the rest and all will be dandy. Now if you've got old stones that you don't need anymore, these grey ones, I don't think there's any use to having grey ones, I would dismantle them. So if they're not locked, then you can immediately dismantle, or you can reset them if you want to get back the enhancement point. So you'll set the stone back from plus something, plus 2, plus 3, back to just nothing. That's absolutely fine, but you might just want to totally dismantle it. So click on the stone, and then this icon here is to dismantle. So this is reset. This one will remove enhancements, and you won't lose any of the materials. This one will dismantle the stone, so you will lose the stone, but you'll get the enhanced materials, and you'll get the original materials it was made of. So yeah, you can dismantle them one at a time. That's absolutely fine if you want to be really careful. Very safe. However, if you've been careful with the way that you've done your locks, then you can dismantle them all at once using this dismantle button here, and then you can start to cherry pick and say get rid of all of my grey level 2s, and then you can start to choose those higher level ones as well, and then click dismantle. It shows here exactly how many of these materials you're going to get and how many stones here that you're dismantling. So check through, make sure you're happy that you're dismantling items. You can see here I'm not trying to dismantle any 6s, but I am trying to dismantle 4 5s. They are grey, so 4 or 5 greys, I don't think they're very valuable, so that would be fine. So yeah, this is a great way of getting more materials to do further enhancements in future. Okay, so now we're looking at the Lunar version of the game, and if we go into Draconic, there are a few little differences. I've also got a gold stone in my Lunar account, which is really nice. So now if we check out the Draconics here, you'll see there's the meld option at the top left. Now this one has 2 different sort of things that are going on here. One is once you've gathered all of these fragments, then you can meld them together to create a superb quality Draconic stone. So that's not the gold one, by the way. That is the one below gold, and it's a specific color. Superb Draconic stones. So I'll compare that here. This is the superb, so the gold is the superb Draconic stone Omni, and the other stones here are, so you'll be able to create more of these superb stones. Now that's great, that first tier will get you these much more powerful level 4 stones at this time, and then there's a second function in Meld Draconic Stones. This is where you can take 3 of your superb level stones, turn them into an Omni, perfect stone. Now you can have a check on the stats that you're going to get. Remember, you might want to reset the superb stones before you do this, and then you can do a better comparison on the stats. Now you do need a lot of stones to make this worthwhile. You're beginning at 3 superbs for 1 superb Omni. So although it's possible, really check and make sure you're not going to be taking down your stat, reducing your stats, just to get hold of one of these stones. The big leveler, this Omni stone, is going to give you 180 of the different elementals for each of them. Now if we compare that to the standard stone, you'll only get 180 for red, so you're going to have those 3 stones, so you're going to get the 180 for each of those, but all in one stone, so you're compressing the benefits. So if you've got lots of these stones, that's when the benefits are higher. Otherwise, yeah, you change 3 into 1, you will get the same elemental score, but it'll be spread. It won't be all red, it'll be red, blue, and green. So if you need that to unlock some skills, maybe it's worth losing some of those stats to get higher level Draconic skills. This, for example, the Breath of Fire. Well, actually it depends. If you're changing red stones, you're not likely to be able to get that 600, but you will get more. You will be able to balance out those other stats. So you'll be able to do one yellow stone, yeah, a bunch of red stones instead of having to do a green stone and a blue stone as well to unlock some other of those skills potentially. So look very carefully, think very carefully before you do that Omni upgrade, unless you've got spare stones. If you've got spare level 4 stones, melt them, turn them into an Omni. That's a huge win. Only if they're going spare, or you've done the maths and you've worked out you're happy to make that change. So this is a long video today on the dragon, so hopefully you found something that's helpful in there. If you had any further questions, do let me know in the comments down below, and smash that like button as well. It does help me in my channel. So do check out my channel. I've got videos going back a long time, and loads of different videos on both Solar and Lunar, so there'll be something for everybody on there, so do please check it out. Thanks for watching today.